Hi, this is Linda Noss, and this is my third video regarding sorting. Today we're going to look at the selection sort. And I just wanted to show you a few really good resources to start with. Barron's 2010 AP Computer Science book is in part online at the Google Books site. This is one of the selected chapters that is in there, so you can go look at that. Also in Wikipedia, there is a section on selection sort. It kind of shows you what happens over here. It gives you a little animation over here about how it works, gives you some code, and then it does compare to other sorting algorithms. And these are the type of things that will be asked for on the AP Computer Science exam, so that's worth looking at. So let's go and look at the sort. I've started a new program here, and essentially when I go back and I look at the Barron's, it tells me that a selection sort is basically swapping the first element in the array with the smallest element in the array, wherever it is. So for instance, down here, you can see that 1 is the smallest element in the array. So the 1 is picked up and put here, and the 8 is then put where the 1 used to be. And then it goes on to the second one. It finds the second smallest element and flips that around. Then it finds a third element, flips that around, and sorts the array that way. So essentially there are 3 steps to the process. First thing I need, though, is I need an array. So I'm going to call this array, and I'm going to set it equal to, let's make it a little bit more interesting, what commas I need. That look. Okay, so we've got a little array there. And so step 1 is essentially finding the smallest element in the array. So step 1. Okay, step 2 is to swap the placement of the smallest element of the array with the first element of the array. So swap place smallest element of the array. So smallest. Okay, and then step 3 would be to print it out. Okay, so there's a few things you need to do step 1. Step 1 again says to find the smallest element of the array. So I'm going to need an if statement. I'm going to need a loop because I got to transverse through the array. So I'm going to need a looping variable. I'm going to need a variable that stands for the smallest element of the array. I have to mark the spot where the smallest element of the array is, so I need to keep track of that. So I'm going to call that swap space. And that's what I need for that for right now. So let's just go. I actually got the code over here for the smallest element. So I'm going to copy this. I'm just going to paste it in here. So essentially what I did here was I set the smallest equal to the first element of the array, because at this point in time, this moment in time, I haven't looked at anything but the first element, and obviously that's the smallest one. And then what I do is I start my loop and I check smallest against every other element of the array. If the smallest is greater than another piece of the array, then that other piece of the array becomes the smallest. And if I find a smaller space, I need to mark that spot. So that's what the swap space is for. So that's essentially how that works. The second part is to swap the place. So in order to swap the place, I need a temp variable. So I'm going to add a temp variable up there. And then I just need to do that same flip thing we did with the bubble sort. We're going to do the same flipping. So there it is right there. Doesn't like my swap space. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that in, paste that in. Oh, it doesn't like it because I haven't set it equal to anything. I bet you that's what it'll say. May not have been initialized. So I have to go up here, set this equal to 0. And so that's how to swap two pieces of the array around. And the last thing is to print the array. And I did do that in my, so you can go ahead and get it from your bubble sort. I also have it in my pre-made program here. Same little loop. So I'm just going to grab it and put it in here. So there it is. So let's see what happens when I do this. Okay. So if I look at my array, you can see that -2 is the smallest element in the array. So the 4 and the 2 should swap. And if you look down here, you see the 2's right here and the 4's right here, and that's exactly what happened. So this is the first part of doing a selection sort. I'm going to come back in the next video and show you how to make it generic so it does this for all of them all the way across the board. See you next time.